Hi, today I want to show you how to make your Enfield motorcycle much lighter. I'm going to show it through comparing my 350 here, which I rebuilt myself, and then showing you how my 500 is much heavier. But it's actually that very obvious. Let me show you. So let me take it off the stand. So this is my 500. Pretty heavy. Let me show you my 350. You know. Okay, let me take you through the whole sequence. First, I don't really think you need the mirrors. This is driving in Delhi. You don't care about what the others think about you. You actually can remove the mirrors quite easily. A lot of weight can be gained by selecting the right tank. If you have a look at it, this is a 60 tank and it's actually very, very slim. My original tank, which is nearly double the size. So I guarantee you 3 kilos of weight gained here, not even filled. Select the flat toolboxes. These are the original ones which the motorcycle came with. Pretty heavy. For 500 rupees, let's say 10 euros, I bought 2 flat toolboxes. They're a little bit thinner in metal, and you gain about 1 kg for both boxes. Of the right saddle. When you look at this one, I took a very flat vintage look saddle, which actually is a Harley Davidson saddle made for the American market, founded here in New Delhi. Weighs about 1.2 kg. This one was to replace the much heavier original saddle which I had here. Springs. This was the back saddle. Lots of brackets came with it, lots of heavy springs, etc. So the whole back and front saddle weighed about 5 kgs. So select the right saddle. You can gain up to 4 kgs on this one. When you then decide to drive the motorcycle on your own, though you don't need your partner on the back, you can actually remove these supports here. The heavy rubbers, the heavy metal and the bolts from both sides. Gains you again about 1 kilo. Indicators. Here in India, indicators are completely useless. You can actually do without them. So if you remove the 4 with the brackets, back and front, you actually gain about 800 grams. The stand doesn't seem to be very useful to me also. Look at this. This is my 500, and look how scary it is when it comes down. Look at my 350. Removed it, and I can actually leave it on. It stands like this. Gain about 800 grams, which you don't need. In case you really want to have a ride with your partner, I advise you to buy these very lightweight saddles. As you see, they weigh less than 300 grams and can easily be fitted on the rear mudguard. I use them when my daughter wants to have a ride with me, but you can actually remove them very easy like this also. Where you can gain about 1 kg is selecting the right light. The Enfield comes with these heavy backlights supported by equally heavy rear light and even with a front license plate. You don't really need that. My design is following. Choose for a very light rear light and for just a plastic license plate. It's street legal and you will gain about 1 kg with it. Remove this handle. You don't really need it. It only serves to pull your motorbike back when it's too heavy. When you make it much lighter, you can actually get rid of it and do it much easier like that. You need a disc brake for an Enfield. It only makes your machine much heavier with a caliper, about 1 liter of fluid in here. I suggest you go for a much lighter drum brake, which is the original setup with lighter shoes in there, and it will certainly cost you less money. Remove the steel suspension cover. You don't really need it. Weighs about 300 grams. I opted for my 350. To remove it gives you a much nicer vintage look. What I really want. A horn. You don't really need it here in India. Just going to take it off, put it back nicely in the box when I'm going to register my motorcycle legally. Going for a vintage look, many companies will offer you a brass cover of your ignition. Go for the very light plastic one. Gives you the same look, doesn't weigh anything, costs you less than $1. Opt for painted mudguards. They're much lighter than the chromed ones. What I do not want to remove are the following. It's this front sign. It's my toolbox. And it's the chain rear sprocket cover. By doing that, I think I would lose a little bit of the look of my Enfield. So I keep on these pieces. But if you really want, you could gain some weight from these. Of course, all this is done without compromising on the lovely sound of the Royal Enfield.